Congratulations on one of the best films of the year. It is just amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What a great way to start our day together. Right, Sully?
Yeah, thank you for that, Tony. We think that, but do other people think that? Now, with you saying that, I'm convinced that, yes, it's one of the greatest movies of the year. Thank you for that.
And maybe of all time.
That's right. That's right.
We just want to say that. Am I pronouncing your name right? Is it Niels?
Yes,
Neil.
David.
Yes.
Neil. Well, I'm flabbergasted. Neil, where did you get the idea from? Where did this? Is this out of your life experience?
So the script originally came to me through Alexander Payne, is a good friend of mine from UCLA Film School, and he had developed the script with a local Milwaukee writer, who then invited me to do a bit of work on the script and to make it my own and direct the film. I had always wanted to come home and make a film, and so I was thrilled when the script came my way. I kind of grew up with characters like Wayne and like Chuck, and my main goal when putting the film together was to be able to go for a complete authenticity. And I told every financier I met with for me to pull it off authentically, which is where the laughter and the tears and just really the grounding of the film are going to come from. The two ingredients for that are I must shoot in Wisconsin. I cannot shoot Georgia or Canada or New Mexico for Wisconsin. It has to feel, we have to know we're in Wisconsin. And the second important ingredient was casting. And I said, let me cast the right actors who have Wisconsin or small town in their blood and bones. Kristen Johnston grew up in Milwaukee. Tanya Fisher grew up in small town West Bend. Bill Heck is from just south of the border, Illinois, but spent all of his summers in Wisconsin. And Sully here is not from Wisconsin. So we had to teach him how to say oil, but he grew up in small town East Texas. And so he had small town in his blood and bones and was just our perfect Wayne.
David, I'm going to call you Sully now because everybody seems to be doing that. Was it a tough audition process?
You know, as an actor, you get sent certain scripts and certain material that you try, and you have a couple days to either audition or make a tape. And this was no exception. Like I got the script and the material, and I was like, man, this is a great film, but I think they're wanting me to read for the wrong role. I initially read for Chuck, and I had a blast.
He was a great Chuck.
I was a good Chuck, and I read for I had done it, and I was like, man, I really like this Wayne role, and I contacted my reps, and I was like, hey, can we find out like what's going on with Wayne? Have they cast Wayne? Is there an offer out? Can I throw my hat in the ring? And then I got word that the director wanted to meet with me, and I'm like, okay. And the first thing I was going to do was ask for an opportunity to play Wayne. And the first thing that he says to me is, hey, thanks for coming. I got to let you know, I watched your tape, and it made me sick in my stomach. And I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here? And then it was like, because I keep seeing you as Wayne, and I don't know how I'm going to work this out, but I really want you to be Wayne in the movie. And I'm like, oh, yes. So, yeah, I mean, once Niels kind of gave me the opportunity to play that role, it was my responsibility to do my best and to bring everything I could, my history, my past, and my relationships, and my love for my own son. I owed so much, in terms of my abilities to him and to the production. And yeah, I'm really happy with what they allowed me to do.
Well, there certainly is a wonderful balance of humor and angst and drama in this. And I would imagine this is every actor's dream to play a part like this.
Absolutely. I mean, because oftentimes movies just get pigeonholed. It's like, well, is this a comedy? Is this a drama? Is this a dramedy? Is this a road trip movie? Is this a horror film? Is this, like, with the exception of horror film, this is everything. It's a human film. It's a story. It's a human tale. And it's one full of a lot of laughter and a lot of silliness, and also a lot of heart and a lot of sadness and I don't know, pathos, I guess. It's just, it's a film that really shows us as human beings that, oh, people are worth redemption, and people are worth getting a second chance, and people are worth understanding. I think a lot of people didn't understand Wayne. and when faced with the opportunity to make himself better and improve his situation, it's hard for him because it's very much who he is, and it's very much his identity. He was always the life of the party. He was always the fun guy. He was always the guy who had one too many, but included everybody in his shenanigans. Like, he's not going to go out and roll a bowling ball with himself. He's going to make sure the whole bowling alley comes outside. You guys line up on this side. You guys line up on this side. Let's get the lights in. We're going to have, he's the life of the party. So yeah, it was a great opportunity to play a character with so much vibrance and also, moments of humility and vulnerability.
Niels, Kristen Johnson is an American treasure. I mean, she is such an underrated actress, but boy, what heart and soul she brings to this role.
I'm so glad you said that. I think she is a treasure. I think she's one of our great comedians, and she's a great dramatic actor. She's on Broadway in New York. We know her from some of her hugely successful sitcom work, and of course her film work as well. She's the one person. I was extremely sorry, Sully, but I was most nervous meeting Kristen Johnston the first time because as I did my work on the script, she's the only person that I thought of for the role. And I ended up saying, well, where is she? Where is she? And I realized I'd shown up an hour early to this coffee shop where we were meeting. Once Kristen sat down and realized how much I wanted her, she said to me, all right, now that I see how, you put your cards on the table, I can tell you, I've not wanted to play a role as much as this since Third Rock from the Sun. I said, great, then come home and make this film with me. Because she went to the same high school I went to. She was in my sister's class.
Nice.
So I had met Kristen when I was probably a teenager, just very briefly, when she was hanging out with my sister, and but it had been many years. But to be able to come home and make a film with Kristen also coming home, what a joy.
Using Milwaukee as a character, and the landscape of Wisconsin is just beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that was one of my absolute requirements, was to shoot in Wisconsin, and it is a beautiful state. It has a stark beauty in the wintertime, but what I loved about shooting in the summertime is Wayne, for all of his hilarity, is on this very tough journey, and there's an interior landscape that isn't quite as pleasant for Wayne as he's on this journey. And I wanted the warmth of Wisconsin to be the backdrop. It's I always seen this story as a small story, it's like an intimate epic with a very big backdrop, not just Wisconsin, but where we are as Americans, because it does take a look at where we are right now in time.
It does. Sully, I've got, as we wind down our interview, I've got two questions. One is, what do you think audiences are going to take away from watching Small Town Wisconsin?
I think they're going to think a lot more about their own lives, because I'm not a very likable character in this film. I'm not somebody who you're rooting for. But by the end of it, for some reason, you're like, wait, why am I rooting for this guy? Because he for all intents and purposes, he's a lost cause. He's somebody who he ruined his marriage. He probably ruined his relationship with his parents. He's on the outs with his best friend. His son loves him more than anything, and he doesn't really realize that he's about to lose him until he literally does. So I think people are going to see Wayne, and they're going to question their own, I guess, journey in their own lives, because we're all screw ups. Like, we all make mistakes. We're all people that have challenges. And it's just a matter of like, well, what am I really willing to do what it takes to make my life better? Am I really willing to do what it takes to not lose this person that's near and dear to me? And that's a tough question to ask, because, especially with Wayne, it's a big part of who he is. He's the life of the party. He's the fun guy who is always willing to have one more. But is that worth losing? What's most important? So I hope when people watch this movie, they're able to kind of take a step back and analyze the feelings that they're having. Like, why was I laughing at this guy, and then I'm laughing with this guy, and then I'm cheering for this guy? What is that in me? And I think it's human behavior to want to be better, and to want to have redemption, and want to cheer on somebody for for really trying and seeing people being deserving of second chances.
And my final question is, coming from Texas, as you do, and going to Wisconsin, to Milwaukee, was there enough cheese?
It was anywhere. It was on call. I had my cheese guy. I was like, cheese, please. And it was like, what kind would you like to have today, sir? Yeah, their cheese was flowing. It was great. I felt very well taken care of.
Perfect. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Small Town, Wisconsin, one of the best films of the year. I'm saying it to you guys. It is just a beautiful, beautiful movie, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thanks,
You
Tony.
guys take care.